10 Things You Didn't Know About Shadow and Bone Season 2. Shadow and Bone Season 2 should be announced anytime now. All signs show that Netflix is happy with the performance of its release, which seems to have been a hit. And so without further ado, here are 10 things you didn't know about Shadow and Bone Season 2. By the way, make sure to click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our engaging videos, and use that trigger finger by smashing that like button. Now let's get into it. Number 10. Season 1 Finale. That cliffhanger really had us. So what does it signify for the Darkling? Obviously, he's got a different kind of power now. Ben Barnes told Digital Spy and other press, he's someone who has had an army and has been in charge of this medieval hierarchy. Someone who's revered and feared. But he's even more alone now with a handful of vendettas and a masked group of people trying to kill him. He's sort of all-powered now. He just has to think something dark and it will happen. So it'll be interesting to see which characters we find him interacting with going forward. Number 9. Barnes' intriguing comparison to the books. In terms of expectations, Barnes drew that following intriguing comparison to the books. There is a huge potential because I think in the books he becomes a bit more representative of something dark in Alina's head. Something susceptible and manipulative. He exists in her head, but that makes him not very human. And so I'd be interested to see what the show does in terms of keeping him human. Sajaya Dasgupta, who plays Zoya Nazjalensky, is another cast member we can expect to see more. Author Leigh Bardugo told EW that her tale is important in several books, including the King of Scars duology, which is why her role has been expanded in Season 1. With the most recent installment of the Grishaverse, which is Rule of Wolves, the second and last installment on the King of Stars duology, I have put, if not a period, then at least a very firm semicolon at the end of these stories for myself. I know now where Zoya's story is going. Number 8. Shadow and Bone Season 2 release date. Netflix originals don't usually air on a yearly basis like network shows, and given the scale of the production, we estimate that Shadow and Bone will return by the end of 2022 at the earliest. However, given the numerous production delays that the television industry has recently experienced, 2023 appears to be a more plausible date. Let's just sit back and wait till the announcement will be out. Number 7. Shadow and Bone Season 2 plot. Although Netflix's adaptation deviates from the books in certain ways, we believe that the summary for the second novel, Siege and Storm, will prove helpful for what to expect in Season 2. Alina must strive to make a life with Mal in a foreign land while keeping her identity as the Sun Summoner hidden, as she is pursued across the True Sea and plagued by the lives she took on the Fold. But she won't be able to avoid her history of her fate for long. The Darkling has risen from the Shadow Fold with a horrifying new power and a perilous scheme that will push the natural world to its limits. Alina returns to the country she abandoned with the help of a notorious privateer, determined to battle forces forming against Ravka. Alina, on the other hand, slips deeper into the Darkling's game of forbidden magic as her power develops and further away from Mal. She'll have to choose between her country, her power, and the love she's always believed would lead her, or risk losing everything to the approaching storm. Number 6. New characters. Wylan Van Eck, the Crow's lone missing number, is a figure we'll undoubtedly see in a second season, as showrunner Eric Heiserer has already hinted. Wylan is a demolitions expert who also happens to be the son of a wealthy Kerch merchant in the books. He's also Jesper's, Kit Young's, love interest, which many of the fans of the books are excited to see on screen. Number 5. Filming. We don't know if filming has started on second season because Netflix hasn't announced it. Because the series is still in its early stages, the second season will most likely premiere in 2022. So there's still a long way to go before they start filming. Season 2 will, most likely, focus on the final installment of the Grisha trilogy. Alina's fight against the Fold will most likely continue to be the centerpiece of Siege and Storm. Viewers will discover that General Kerrigan didn't die. Unfortunately for Alina, his powers become even stronger and he will still be the villain. Number 4. Six of Crows, Paz, Jesper, and Inej's story. The entire Six of Crows duology takes place after the Shadow and Bone novels, so we haven't seen anything from them on screen yet. Save from Nina and Matthias' narrative, which is told in Six of Crows via flashback. That means Season 2 might go in a completely different way or adapt the events of the novel. The Crows are involved in a huge and risky heist in the book, which, as they were in Season 1, this time they'll travel to Preherda, the witch-hunting nation from which Matthias hails, and break into a prison that looks like Fort Knox. They're on the search for the inventor of Jordaparum, a mystery medicine that boosts Grisha's abilities. But do you remember Pekka Rollins? He also wants to apprehend the scientist, which puts him at war with the crows once more. Number 3. Costume designer Wendy Partridge created 250 kefta for the show. Each Grisha has 3 varieties of kefta: bulletproof for battle, velvet for everyday wear, and silk for social occasions such as the winter fete. All of the kefta were hand embroidered with a technique known as bullion embroidery, which involves sewing actual pieces of small metal into the fabric. And at number 2, Jessie May Lee teased Season 2. In an exclusive interview with Digital Spy, Jessie May Lee teased how the Season 1's final cliffhanger will affect Alina in Season 2. Alina goes from being a scared little pup who can't look at anyone in the eye to suddenly having this sense of gravity to her. We feel that she's grown a lot and she's really strong, but she's still got a long way to go, which is a really nice place to leave her. We know where she's going now and where she's gotta go. During a roundtable with Digital Spy and other press, author Leigh Bardugo revealed that she would love to see the Ice Court heist brought to life. In a future season of the show, you get greedy, you know? At the start of all this, I thought just to see a few characters step on stage sometime, that will be enough. But then with every moment, especially when you have such an extraordinary team bringing it to life, you think, wow, if they did this much with just one book and this one story, what could they do with these other wild things I've created? Unfortunately, I never thought about this series in terms of adaptation, so I've certainly laid many challenges before them if we ever get there. Very expensive challenges. The introduction of Nikolai, a pirate prince who turns out to be none other than the former king of Ravka, is one plot development we will undoubtedly see from the books. In an interview with Inverse, showrunner Eric Heiserer hinted at his arrival but didn't go into detail beyond mentioning his name. And at number 1, the Darkling. And probably Alina will get some new powers. We know that the Darkling is still alive at the end of Season 1 and that he has the ability to summon vicious shadow creatures known as Nitchavoya. We saw a glimpse of them at the very end of Season 1 when the Darkling comes out of the fold. These creatures play an important role in Siege and Storm. For example, one bites Alina when the Darkling captures her, forming a magical bond between the two of them. Alina may also gain additional abilities in addition to the additional amplifier. In the first book, Shadow and Bone, she, like the Darkling, learns to perform the cut, which allows her to cut anything in half using the power of light or dark. Alina never learned this in Season 1 of the show, but it seems likely that she will learn it as the series progresses. Are you looking forward to Shadow and Bone Season 2? Let us know in the comment section below. And hey, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel so we continue giving you the best content possible. Thanks for watching and see you on the next video.